Hello, everyone. Okay, hold on. Give me a moment because I did a thing, didn't I? Let me check because I set up notification and stuff last night. Oh no! I did. Yeah. Okay. So in case you clicked or saw the go live notification, I thought let's start this day a little bit silly. And a good thing too, because hold on, I need to. But I'm wearing a, is it vintage? A vintage, let's say a vintage actual Scottish, um, but also modern kilt, especially made for women. So I can open it up and put a hot water bottle a layer down. Okay, so my dad just popped in. He probably saw. He probably saw the silly go live notification. I'm so sorry. Please don't, papa, niet kijken wat dat is. Het is een boek en dat hoef je niet te lezen. Dat is echt alleen, is niet nodig. Oh my god, of all days, of all days! How are we doing? I am doing poorly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing really poorly. I slept not a lot, not enough, because I have a minor flare up. Now, it's not unheard of that I have endometriosis episodes back to back to back to back. I think that's my record, to have four after each other. I'm particularly stubborn when it comes to this period of episodes, though, because I am really, really so done with and I can't put it in any other words, but I'm so done with literally other people just barging into my life and causing me so much stress that my endometriosis is worse. And of course, I'm talking about this the stranger that decided to beat me up in the forest, right? And especially men. I'm just so done with men ruining my life. So I'm here. I'm in pain. I have a hot water bottle. And in order to forget about my own pain, I am going to read about the dystopian pain that a lot of women in the USA are currently going through. But that does mean that I have decided that this week we're just going to start later this week, because I'm very slow and I'm in a lot of pain. I'm probably going to have a lot of bad nights in the coming month. To be honest, I hope I can just start at noon other days. But I have a feeling that I'm going into a back to back to back episode of endometriosis. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a broken uterus. Let's keep it at that today. It's so unfortunate that my dad saw that notification. I know he sees all notifications, but of all notifications, why did he have to come in when I mentioned Morning Glory Milking Farm? Oh, Skolja, help me. How are you doing today? Hi, Tadeo. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. And also, before I go on, because I squirrel in my brain, so let's welcome Jackson is here. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Hi, Alexander. My mood is peachy. Body not so great, but we can make it work, right? Digital, how are you doing today? No way, no way. A cherry stream. Yeah, I know. It's so unexpected. Hi, Tsingy. Are you putting yourself in a corner again? Oh my God, Tsingy, why do you do this to me, Papa Cherry? You I don't think he's here anymore. He said he was just popping in to say hi because he's working naturally, because it's the middle of the day, and most people will have a day job. So I really hope he doesn't look it up, that he didn't see that as a challenge. Yeah, that is my dad. It sure is. And I'm just awkward now because why? I have something to explain. I don't want to explain. No! I'm so upset about it. Hi, Marlboro. How are you doing today? You want to be put in a corner. Let's see if I remember, because I genuinely actually don't really know anymore how that works. There you go. I think I did it. Happy now. I hope you're having a good day, Tangi. The infinite and divine and the divine. Oh, I have never heard of this, Krish. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Holy bunch of roses. I love that name. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you, Alexander. That is one thing I will always do. I will always try to look a little bit better than I feel. It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. And I recommend it actually, just to put in a little bit more effort, where you feel like crap, because for one, people will compliment you, and it does. It's a bit weird, but it does feel good, right? So put on some lovely clothing, even if it's just something silly. Put on some extra glitter, even no matter what gender you are. Glitter makes everything better. I promise. And if glitter is just a little bit too much, I noticed the last time I dared to go outside that I mean it's summer, right? So hopefully kids are going outside, which also means that a lot of stores are selling bubbles. I used to have that in my bag because I, for one, went to parties and raves in my 20s, but also mostly I had it in my bag always in case I was sad and I could just blow a few bubbles and make myself happy. Bonus points! You're very welcome, Tangi. How did it feel? Bonus points if you see a kid who's crying and you have a moment in your day, take out your bubbles, blow a few bubbles, and not only did you make the day of that kid a little bit brighter, you saved the parent of a lot of frustration. Win, 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 win! The things you come up with when you're depressed, I tell you. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, sculpture. I know. But why of all days? I have so many silly, innocent go live notifications. But yeah, of course. All right. So today is going to be very wobbly. But I'm telling you, I'm determined to continue the plans, as many of the plans that I had before. So that means I will be reading The Handmaid's Tale today, and we're doing 2 sprints and a power hour. I don't know how far I'll get, but I'm here, and you are here, and I'm happy to see you. I will just do our best, all right? Really a Fey Witch Sculpture. I fear that maybe one of my favorite characters of a series that I really believe it was an important part of shaping who I am. I'm talking about the book series by Kate Tiernan, and it depends whether you're European or in America. Sweep or Wicca series by Kate Tiernan. They're not really available anymore. At least in Europe, they're no longer in print. I have all the ebooks though, and I want to revisit them. And I truly feel like maybe I have a lot more in common with her than I want. Because I was thinking, Skulja, I remember when yesterday you said that I said to you that I knew what I was doing, and I did. I have to admit that I did. I really did. I just didn't realize it was going to be so effective. So maybe that's it. I'm a Fey Witch. I just didn't know it. Maybe I'm a changeling. God, if only. The Fey Pie Lady. I can live with that. You'll never know my true name. I'm wise to your tricks. Me, you, all of us. It's better. Let's keep it that way. All right, let me prep this book. Why did I bring my ebook? Why? because I wanted to tell you about the Morning Glory Milk and Farm. Okay, so if you haven't heard about this, this is smut. It's smut, all right, but it's so insane that it becomes fascinating and funny. Like I shrieked when I read this. I shrieked because it makes no sense. All right, it's a human and a minotaur. Already, I'm like, you don't even need to read it to know this is not okay. It's not gonna fit. It's not gonna work. But I'll have you know that compared to some of the books that turn out to be smut, this one actually has a decent amount of world building. It's a series actually, and Morning Glory Milking Farm is part one of the Cambric Creek series. The second book is called Sweet Berries. I also have that already as an ebook, but because I would rather not have that somewhere on display and have people come in and ask me what it's about. I would rather not. There's three books. There's three books in the series. I have only read the first one. Well, there's novellas as well, but I'm generally not good at reading novellas. And Sweet Berries, as I said, because it really does have a lot more world building than you might think. And there's all these kinds of tests that you can do, right? To see if a book is, whether the female main protagonist talks about other things aside from men to other women, for example. And I feel like this book is really not that bad. It's just the smut parts are just wild, man. And Sweet Berries, the second book, and I'm assuming the third book as well. Yes, the third book is about her best friend, because it's called Moon-Blooded Breeding Clinic. I just said that out loud. Moon-Blooded Breeding Clinic. All right. Book 3. So the first one is about Violet, who is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated and drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in neighboring Camber Creek. She has no choice but to grab at it with both hands. Morning Glory Milking Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef with the manly, meaty endowments to match. Milking minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. When a stern, deep-voiced client begins to specially request her for his milking sessions, maintaining her professionalism and keeping him out of her dreams is easier said than done. Violet is resolved to make a dent in her student loans and afford name-brand orange juice, and a one-sided crush on an out-of-her-league minotaur is not a part of her plan, unless her feelings aren't so one-sided after all. It's a short human monster romance novel featuring a high heat, slow burn with a lot of heart and a guaranteed... I don't know what that means. Again, this is the second time or the third time that I stumbled upon that. I don't know what... HEA? Happily ever after, I'm assuming. I'm not going to read the rest of that. I'm not going to read the rest of what Goodreads is daring to put out there. I love the world building actually, because there's other characters which are continued in the other series, like in the other books. The Sweet Berries, I'm not sure who would be the main person, but it's about a relationship with a Mothman. And the third one is with the best friend of Violet from the first book as the main protagonist, and she is a vampire. So there's a lot of creatures and there's a lot of interesting characters that, I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, it's a smut book. But what is interesting about, I mean, it was really interesting. I know, I'm sorry that I have to be a party pooper, but what makes you think in this book is how sex workers are treated, and why Hold on. Uh, I wouldn't know. I can't. I can't. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to give that word a free pass. But I read your message, and I wouldn't know. I am not someone who reads this kind of stuff. The reason I read it is because Goodreads said, "Hey, this is popular," and I was like, "Goodreads, you can't do this. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're advertising. What do you mean?" But again, this made me think a lot about how we treat sex workers, and adjacent to this is like think about people with severe disabilities who are for some reason not able to find or get into a serious relationship. Demonizing sex work hurts people who might genuinely need the service of it. If you remove the perverts, sex work could be therapeutic for a lot of people. I once saw a documentary about it, about a woman who specialized in helping people who are severely disabled and only able to get that kind of relief and attention through certified sex workers. So even though the milking farm stupid story, it did make me think, because it does treat certain elements that could be smutified very seriously. And I don't know, I haven't looked at the um mm, no, no, that's not what happened, Bucks. That's not what happened. But also, I have a very grumpy automat, so you will probably be automated for the strangest things. And we're not talking about that. I am talking about the complicated subject, which is sex work, leading from a very interesting book called Morning Glory Milking Farm. Just so you know, first time chatter. Hi, Riku. How are you doing today? Me, Skolja! Me developed. I mean, I try. I try. You're watching tennis. Who are you watching? I used to watch. Oh, I forget his name. When I was in high school, when we were waiting for the phone call, whether we had passed or not, we were watching. What was his name? I don't think Nadal. We were obsessed. We were obsessed with Nadal. Yes, Bucks, but you are refusing to listen to what I'm saying. I was talking about what that book made me think about. And seeing a book is not the same as reading a book. And I am telling you that reading Morning Glory Milking Farm made me think about the layers that that book has. Sure, smut may be the way that some people get reeled in, just like, say, South Park teaches a lot of people who are completely uninterested in the state of the world will still learn a lot about the state of the world through a medium that they find interesting. Just like that, some smut books that do put some effort in the world building, or subjects like blood donation or sex work, for example, just to name a few, it's like a gateway drug. It leads you to talk about other subjects. But you refusing to listen to that puts you a bit on thin ice. So maybe try to stay on a subject that the streamer is talking about. Maybe. Demonizing sex work is also about controlling women's bodies. Exactly, Skullja. And I think, especially because I never considered how important sex workers could be for people with a disability. I think it's important. I think it's important to reframe sex work, but it's also dangerous, especially in the age of internet. It's too easy to abuse if not properly. Hold on. He's probably going this way. He's very far off. Oh, he isn't. Um, it's like it's this, I feel the same way about drug use. Making it illegal is probably not the way to go. It's probably better to not have it as a taboo. So people who need help when they do find themselves in sketchy situations can find the help they need. Uh, Well, you're not listening to what I said. I said I am not allowing a certain word. But if you are continuing to be a little bitch about it, then you can just go take a minute. Hi, Dangerbeth. How are you doing? I'm going to prep the book and we will be going into a sprint in about 10 minutes. Are we reading a book today or are we just keeping each other company in chat? 20 stream streak. Oh my god. Already? How did you do that? I don't I don't stream that much. And Snazington, hello. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing today? You're just chilling. Schoolja, when do you sleep? I feel like I see you in places I can't figure out. Is that the Fae in me trying to figure out what time zone you're in? Oh, I'm a little bit nervous about this, but also I really need to get this out of the way, especially with what's going on in the world. I'm trying to remember where I left off on the series, but I don't quite remember. Has anyone seen the series of The Handmaid's Tale? Where did? Well, I uh in I don't. Do you speak up over there? Yeah, you do. Sad Girls in Sad Girl stream. I saw you in Sad Girl stream, and I just can't figure how when do you sleep? Do you also have a biphasic sleep schedule at the moment? Radio John also has a 20 stream streak. Hello. Good job. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm so honored. It's fascinating, isn't it? How some people are unable to listen, even when they're being told that maybe they didn't really understand what was going on. I've not seen the show. I've not read the book. Am I still? I do know the narrative of it fairly well, though. Is the show good? Um. Well, I can't compare quite yet. I thought that they did a good job with the cinematics. I think that they made the message pretty clear that it was bad. But I have heard from a few people that there are a few details that make the entire story a little bit more, I don't want to say traumatizing, a little bit more, can I say that? Does it matter? In the show, she's given a name pretty early on. She's been given a name, and names are vital in this story because if you've seen the show, you know that the handmaids are given the name of the man that owns them, which how did it go? So off Fred. I think they for examples the handmaid that is of the man called Fred is called Offred. But the main character in the show or given, yeah, well, given because she doesn't have a name. She doesn't have her actual name. You'd never find out her own name. So the main character in The Handmaid's Tale is referred to as both the name that she has in this dystopian world and her own name. And a lot of people feel like that it takes away from the violence of that specific thing. And I fear that I already agree, even though I haven't read it yet, because this is something I always talk about when people of not the West are forced to westernize their name, because otherwise the people in the West are unable to pronounce quote unquote exotic sounding names, which I think is just a remnant of colonization, and I know a lot of people are not aware of this, but it still is. It's still just a result, and it's violent. It's quite violent. Even if, well, it's another deeper subject, I guess, because I know that some people don't mind having a Western name, but at the same time, is that because you don't mind, or is it because you're so used to being minimized in the West and so brainwashed into believing that you have to adjust to be worth anything in the West? Do you know what I mean? So that detail in the show, I think I have to agree that it will be a lot more powerful to never realize what her name is in the before world, before, you know, everyone is made a slave. Loop, how are you doing today? I struggle with insomnia. Oh, that makes sense. It's also nice where is that girl's concerned to see someone at least trying to be critical of news sources and the disinformation in the world. I did try to doing. You did by phasing sleep schedule, but it just made me sleep less. So no, I just try and make sure I follow the sun. That's a good idea, Skull Jam. I've heard a lot about the effectiveness of that as well. Just don't move too far north, because then you might have a problem. But yeah, this might work as well. It's really silly. A lot of the stress that I experienced from having to go to sleep and being afraid that I wouldn't get enough hours has also lessened so far. I still don't know how it's going to go. I just had 2 weeks, barely 2 weeks of biphasic sleep, so it might change. Maybe it's just what I said yesterday, the honeymoon happiness of being able to take a nap without feeling guilty during the day. And with a nap, I mean like a proper 3 to 4 hour sleep. I feel like it is changing my life. And I did get a little bit of sleep, despite that. If I hadn't had a biphasic sleep, I wouldn't be able to stream right now, because I would have just been in too much pain during the night. And now I had a little bit of a buffer because I slept after stream. So I don't know. So far, it's fascinating. I do want to read a little bit more about what other people with autism or some kind of neurodivergency have experienced with this. Because I fear that maybe this is the answer for a lot of people with insomnia. We just don't realize it. It is sad. What a book is about is not necessarily the content, and people are going to interpret the material in their own ways if they've read it. I gnarly, yeah, stupid, but it's okay. What fascinates me mostly is when people come in and think they can dictate what someone who is hosting a stream is talking about. No, that's not how it works. If that's what you want to do, then set up your own stream. You don't need more than your phone. I promise. That's how I'm streaming. But don't do that. It's rude. Please. especially not when someone is in pain. Behave. Come on. You have manners, right? And just to close that off, even if you're talking about smut, there's still boundaries. If I am not talking about a subject because you come in flaming hot, first time chatter with your own aggro vibes, I don't need to engage with that, especially because it wasn't even about that. So, Stealth, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for the follow. Are you ready? We are going into a sprint, which means that I will be muting myself for the coming 30 minutes, and I am reading something that's supposed to be dystopian, but maybe isn't quite as dystopian as we would like it to be. And in the meantime, you can turn on your own music, or maybe you need a little bit of silence, or the birds are singing. I don't know. My cats are currently pretty behaved, but I promise you they were yelling at me the entire morning because I wasn't playing with them. But that's okay. We made up. I gave them a lot of snacks. So let's get to it. Let me know what you're up to. If you want to keep each other company in chat, that would be lovely and help me out greatly. But for the next 30 minutes, I will be trying my very best to focus, and I will see you in 30 minutes. Good luck. last minute. Welcome back. I hope Susan didn't scare you too much. Toulouse has joined us for Spanx. Yes, we're taking a 10-minute break. I'll be fair. Schoolja. My gosh, I am not even out of the introduction. So, speaking of which, let me welcome a few people. Hello, Wednesday Ever and Ash March. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome in. Millie, how are you doing? Who's getting jump scared by the time where she looks so cute. Okay, so I am not even through the introduction yet, and I am baffled. Sorry, I'm in pain today, so I can't do it all at the same time. Is that okay? Oh my god, that was a lot. I have a weird cat. I'm sorry. I think she has enough now. I messed up with the camera a little bit, but we'll have to do. Okay, so Handmaid's Tale. When did they how am I going to say this politely? Because I don't want to say this politely, but when did they turn Roe versus Wade back? When was that? Does anyone know? I could just Google it, but maybe someone knows. That's okay, Schoolja. Try to get some sleep, guys. Try to get some sleep. I'm always happy to see you. But now I know that you have sleeping problems. You better prioritize your sleep, all right? Oh, it might be me in that case. Could be. Oh, and yesterday I saw a lot of people well, last night I saw a lot of people have small breakdowns as well. I am not fully aware of that if that happens when I'm reading. I'm so sorry. Let me know. Let me know if you fall away, because they're not connected, remember? June 22. Oh my gosh. Wait, and also it might be me. It might be me. I'm so sorry. This introduction was written in 2017, and she died, didn't she? I mean, she was really old. Didn't she die? She's still alive? Oh no! I honestly, this is gonna sound really poorly, but I kind of wish she didn't see all that is happening right now. Oh, she must be pissed. Wait. Oh no. That's not okay. I am determined to be here. If internet is not doing what it's supposed to do, that would be really sad. That's so unfortunate that I don't get a notification. I mean, it makes sense. Hi, Juna. Wait, what happened? I was gone. I didn't even know. I'm just freaking out on my own. And not that that is any different from any other moment of the day that I'm not here in this particular corner. Oh no! My cat probably attacked it like a calico ninja from the calico shadows. Or maybe it was my bonking of tooth. Oh no! I'm so sorry. I had no clue. I'm always freaking out on my own. I mean, like this. Hold on. Let me tell you a little bit of what is sticking out already in the introduction. Oh, I'm so sad that she saw. So she, Margaret Atwood, and she says it in the introduction. She has lived through people, no, women getting the right to decide what happens with their own bodies, because carrying a child is such a violent thing to your body. It does so many things that I can't express, for one, because I have never carried a child and given birth. It's just something that you can't, you don't know, right? She has lived through women getting the right to decide and the dismantlement of it, and then some. I feel so sorry. I kind of thought she died. Why did I think that? Is there another author that recently passed away that I'm confused with? God dang it! Shh, shh, no! Shh, 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 shh. It's always the potatoes. I love potatoes, but stop. Okay. Was I up to it? She's asking about writing the book that she had in her mind, right? Which would turn into A Handmaid's Tale. The form was strewn with pitfalls, among them a tendency to sermonize, a veering into allegory, and a lack of plausibility. That I underlined first before I read first. A lack of plausibility. So the story that she ended up writing felt not plausible to her. If I was to create an imaginary garden, I wanted the toads to be in it to be real. One of my rules was that I would not put any events into the book that had not already happened in what James Joyce called the nightmare of history, nor any technology that was already available. No imaginary gizmos, no imaginary laws, no imaginary atrocities. God is in the details, they say, and so is the devil. So everything. And I already knew this, but it kind of slipped away out of my immediate consciousness that everything in this book has already or is happening in the world as we speak. Can these potato thingies just not today? Get off my lawn! Exactly! It's worse, Millie. I'm yelling at the machines that takes out the potatoes. Yelling at potatoes, I wouldn't be upset, because I believe that plants and everything that has some kind of life in it, life force in it, which is just actually everything on Earth, aside from machines that are man-made, because I don't feel like there can actually be life in it if it's like man-made, not directly at least. So yelling at potatoes, fine. Yelling at the machines, not fine. that's pretty insane. But also, don't yell at potatoes. The potatoes did nothing wrong. It's the machines, okay? So angry at how much a certain writer hate for trans folk has collectively rolled back feminism and the fight for equality for all school chat. I agree. I tried to be like on her side, because I read her entire manifesto at this point, I would call it. And I was a freelance writer at that moment in time when that all started to unravel and be destroyed single-handedly by that person herself. So I really did some research, and I really wanted the world to be not necessarily wrong, but misinformed. I really wanted the world to not be in the know about the entire complete thought process behind it. But unfortunately, there's nothing. It's so sad. I grew up with that series as well, and it meant so much. And the community, it's heartbreaking. It seems like this one isn't doing that though. Mm. Oh gosh, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be something to get me through the week. Hopefully this will hook my attention um, solidly enough that I can get through the coming week. Also, the inspiration for the colors makes sense if you know a little bit about color theory and what like royal blue and red is easily seen when you try to flee, but also blue is like the Virgin Mary. And before I leave you for the next sprint, one of the inspirations for the outfits that the handmaids wear is from old Dutch clothing. We're everywhere. The Dutch are everywhere. My history used to be a part of Margaret Atwood's nightmares. Literally, she says it here. A woman with her face hidden and frightened me as a child. What? What are we doing? Right, let's go. For the next 30 minutes, I will be shutting up, finish this intro, and go into the night of Handmaid's Tale. Let me know what you're up to. If you're just chilling or lurking or keeping each other company in chat, that is all good. Keeping yourself alive is a full-time job, especially in this day and age. So let's get to it. Whatever it is that you need to do to you, as long as you're not hurting yourself or other people, this is a safe space. And I'm glad you're here. So turn on your own music or maybe sit in silence a little bit. And I will see you in 30 minutes. Good luck. Last minute. All right. I'm a little out of breath. But I'm okay still. I can do the power hour. I want to. I want to. So let's take a 10-minute break. And for the power hour, the goal of which is to try and practice flow. And the important word here is practice. And just in case you don't know, the practice isn't actually the focus. The practice is starting the thing you want to focus on. How are we doing? I have entered the actual book. I left the introduction as best as I could. I want to revisit it a little bit, I think, when I'm not streaming, because it's really quite sad when you realize what has happened since she wrote that in 2017. But not now. I want to make some progress. Hi, Clary. You did a list of all commands. I didn't know you could do that. And also, I think I've turned a few things off. I'm not sure why. I think because that's gambling. I'm so sorry. How are you doing today? And Nordic, hello, welcome in. For playing sports in the hot beaming sun, don't you just love the summer? Yeah, you can have it all. Go have all the sun. Can you take it and just not have it here? That would be great. Oh no, why did you have to bring that up? I forgot. I think part of the reason why my body is upset isn't just because, things are happening, but also yesterday, the last time I checked the weather, I realized that there's a heat wave coming to the Netherlands. And I consider anything that is above 25 degrees longer than 3 days to me is a heat wave, all right? I don't care what the scientific way is to describe a heat wave. That is, to me, it's too much. 1 day above 25, too much. 3 days? I don't know what to do with myself. And I am unsure where we are now, but it seems like we're going to have at least 5 days of like 27 to 30 degrees next week. And I'm not okay. What did you do? Clarity, take it back. Take all the sun back. I don't want it. I don't need it. This is fine. I was hoping there was rain coming, but also no. Hello, Lil Nita? Is that how I say your name? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Hello, thank you so much for the follow and welcome in. Oh no, I just realized because you mentioned it, you didn't know Millie? So I do look at the weather and I do keep an eye on when this, but I have to, because even if it's not necessarily warm outside, the way this building has been built and the amount of windows that we have makes this basically one of those, what are they called? Those things that they grow like veggies in and stuff. It's basically that. I don't need a lot of heating because the sun, even if it's only 20 degrees outside, I can get it up to 30 if I want inside without any heating. Dutch oven, yeah, yes, Millie, exactly, a Dutch oven. So I have to make sure that I keep an eye on the temperature already in spring. So greenhouse, thank you, Gnarly. That is the exact greenhouse. So I have to make sure that I am, for one, at home and awake, or otherwise make provisions for the cats and me so we don't die of heat stroke, So to see a heat wave coming this way at the end of the week is terrifying to me because I'm not going to be okay. I'm not going to be okay. floor top of an apartment building. Oh, Millie, I feel you. Truly, that it's horrible. So, and roll cup. Oh my God, wisdom. What are you talking about? Clarity's got a nice little tan. Good for you. I don't tan well either. So you're a very sporty kind of person, aren't you? I wish I was. I mean, I am actually. I love working out. Surprisingly, I love I used to run. If you haven't heard of the Insanity at home workout thingy, that was very popular. I think in the early noughties or maybe even in the 90s. I'm not sure why I know about this, but the Insanity program, I love it. It's just that I don't like going outside. I just don't like going outside. I wish I could do everything inside. I hope at some point to be able to. There go the potatoes. See, I told you it was a potato machine. There they go. I hope to one day be able to invest in one of those treadmills so I can stream while walking without going outside. And I just don't like having the unpredictability of strangers, which I do have very good reason to now. So, you know, let me see. Well, it was 27 degrees and above for at least 4 to 5 days, and it was really upsetting. I'm just going to go ahead and file it under Genius. What did Jungas? What are you doing? Oh my God. I'm not going to repeat that. I'm not going to repeat that. All right then. Uh, in the words of Jeremy, what? Clarkson, sometimes my genius is almost frightening. I feel that too. Hello, Bit bitey. What do you want me to do with your name? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing today? I am reading a pretty upsetting book, but I wonder if this would have been more upsetting if I didn't read this in 2026, but like before 2017, because even in 2017, Margaret Atwood didn't think that the world was going to go the way it did. And I kind of want to look up an interview with her that she did recent. Does she do interviews? Yeah, no, not today, not today, Chungus. Mm-mm. Um, like, does anyone know how she responded to the reversal of Roe versus Wade? It's okay, Wisdom. You do need to get used to your new responsibilities. It's fine. Um, and don't worry. Don't take it too seriously either. At the end of the day, I am the one who is responsible for this space. All right. Please, I hope you know that. Um, any day. Yeah. I don't. The thing is, my automat is very aggressive, except when it isn't. It's really fascinating. I think my auto mod thingy has always had a mind of its own from the very beginning. I promise. It has a mood sometimes. I can't blame it. I have a mood every once in a while as well. But no, that's why we invented buttons to quickly dispose of people who think that is a language that is okay. It is not. Oh, and she lost her husband as well. Oh my God. And she was like, oh, husband, I'm saying husband. Yeah, his death. How long were they married? I can't do maths. 7, 20, a lot of years, almost 50 years. Nearly said something bad there, but I held it back. Good, Jungus. Don't play games today. Don't do it. she saw so much. The intro alone is worthy of just reading, to be honest. Oh, that's a bit of a scary looking man. What are you doing here? Hold on. Where are you going? What? That that looked like someone who is standing on business. And I'm not sure how they disappeared because that's physically impossible. But all right, hold on. Okay, I'll do that after the power hour. We are going into a power hour. The goal of which is to try and practice flow. And again, in case you missed it, the practice isn't actually the focus. The practice is to get back to your task. So the full hour, it's pretty impossible unless you truly actually get into flow. It's okay, all right? I'm not going to be able to do it. So don't you worry. The practice is starting and getting back to your task. I started late, Danny. I was late. I'm so sorry. So we're still here. Welcome in. And I don't believe in money, legend. So I don't know what the first half of your question is, but there's your answer. I don't believe in money. I think money is evil, and we should behave. if we tell children to share and behave, we should be able to do that too. But that is a subject for another day. Hopefully, when I'm not already in pain. I'm gonna shut up, so you can turn on your own music. I'll be muting myself, and warn you before the timer runs out. But until then, good luck. Keep me up. Tell me what you're up to. If you just want to keep each other company and chat, that is okay too, because staying alive is a full-time job. Good luck, and I'll see you in an hour. Last moments. Watch him not be insane for the next 10 minutes. All right. We'll have a little bit of a chat, but I have to go. I have to go nap with my cats. Winston, no! Please leave your sister alone. She has nothing to do with it. It's not her fault. It's my uterus. It was always my uterus, all right? So please don't bully your sister. There's no reason. Okay, so I swear it's not just Toulouse. Cats really truly are just a tad on the spectrum. It has to be because I mean dogs are used to routine and schedules and stuff, but they also are a lot more accepting when things don't go their way. I don't know, Tobes. I don't know. How are you? I started the day late because my endometriosis is a bit more intense than it has any reason to be. Not that it has any reason to be at all, but you know, as long as it is, we will have to deal. But Winston, the orange one, just decided that he needs his nap, and it's really interesting because he's quite the orange. But when it comes to naps, he's taking them really, really seriously. And I had no clue that the cats would be so happy about a communal nap during the day, so to speak, as I would, because I have been experimenting with a biphasic sleep schedule, meaning I normally at 5 the cats get dinner. I normally close down stream around 3 or a little later or a little sooner, around 3. At 5 they get dinner, and at 6 we are well and done and fully asleep. But there's just certain things that I do after stream and between 5 and 6 to get ready for our nap and set up dinner for when I wake up, depending on how tired I am 3 or 4 hours later. So there are a few things that I still have to do, even though they have had their dinner, which was disrupted during halfway because it started to rain and then a little bit of hail. And he is scared of hail. I'm not sure why. Just hail. Rain, I mean, as long as it's not too intense. But the moment it starts to actually storm, he doesn't like that. So he didn't really eat his dinner, and now he realizes that I'm still sitting here, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Uh, and I'm really most surprised at his response to the biphasic sleep. But when I think about it, it makes sense because they're just as much social creatures as dogs are. It's just that they're a little bit more independent. But when it comes to sleeping, there's a reason the kittens sleep in a pile, right? And that's what we do these days. We have a nap after their dinner, and I have a little bit of a bite, but I actually have dinner around 10 or 11 lately, and they truly love just sleeping in a little pile. And yeah, as you didn't see, but I did. He went a bit mad just now. He's okay now. I explained to him that I have to do this for a little bit, and then we'll take a nap. There is no cancellation of any naps. Don't you worry. Welcome back, Danny. It's good to see you. And also, welcome in Zero Streak and City Streets and Lissa. Hello, welcome, and thank you so much for the follows. Disclaimer, I try very hard to be productive, but as I always say, staying alive is a full-time job. I have 2 cats, one of which is orange, so, you know, this is not exactly your average co-working stream, but we do our best. We do our best. I went to bed at 8 p.m. last night, couldn't sleep, went to bed around 10, 11 p.m. and had to be up at, oh my gosh, geez, Dopes, are you willing to share what you do for a job? Because that sounds fascinating, though. Are you do you make pastries or something? Are you a trucker? If you don't want to say, that's okay. Never say anything if you don't want to say it to me, especially over the internet. um, gets the communal nap seriously. Yeah, I mean, yeah. When I think about it, it makes so much sense. But it's Winston. Winston doesn't make sense at all. I was lied to. I was scammed. I was told that orange cats are just a bit crazy, right? But they don't have brain cells. They don't think. Actually, I got the one orange that has all the brain cells, and he's way too smart. He opens doors. He well, that's just the one thing that I'm really. He has a puzzle well, several to keep him busy with treats. Figured it out within the first day. He's able to give high fives. He's just too smart. He's too smart. I didn't think I thought he would be upset about me sleeping for several hours during what is socially accepted as the day. But yeah, it's quite perfect. Yeah, the big cat. I agree. You might need a little bit of a communal nap as well, Tobes. I wish humans were able to do that. Just platonic naps together. I think we would solve a lot of issues because one of the subjects that has been touched upon. I didn't make it very far. It's been a day. I'm on page 18. Yes, 18. I just finished this part. And what is touched upon is unfortunate wording, but um, the handmaids are not touched unless they are being raped, right? So she just mentioned how she is just desperate for some form of touch. And that's a real thing, right? Being starved of touch. I think I almost have the actual name for what it's called there, but brain not braining. I too need my. Oh, let me unpin because gnarly was on it today. I completely forgot. Thank you so much for the pinning of the focus. I wish I could sleep like a cat, just curl up and fall asleep. I am so jealous about the contortions that they can put themselves in as well, Tobes. Fully agree. So jealous. Especially when they just curl up in a complete circle. I love that. I wish I could do that. Whole day of the office. I am so impressed, Danny, that you are able to do that. Also, listen, the just snow thing, just real quick. The oh my gosh. Is it lift? Is it Ted or is it Dan? Or am I just missing it completely? First time chatter. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing? So we have two new. I forgot to edit it. Places in Discord. One is called Just Snow, and the other one should be Journal Factory, but I forgot. There you go. Should be fixed. And the snow is really because I love snow and I don't really vibe with summer. And the reason I'm not sure it was a good idea after all is because I'm so jealous. Danny, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? When was this? I wasn't there. I love snow. I love snow, but also maybe I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just gonna say cat. Is that okay? Duh, big cat. I don't think I read an before. Let me see. I think this is actually my. I love how Goodreads is unable to find. Oh, I'm currently reading the book you're reading. If you make even one tiny little mistake, you would think a website that is built around books can think a little bit better, but no, no. Oh, God. Okay. Oh no, I am mistaken. I just didn't. In my head, Margaret Atwood is so connected to The Handmaid's Tale, which is really silly because she wrote so many books. One of which I also read is Alias Grace, which is based on a true story, by the way, and is about Grace Marks, who was convicted for her involvement in the vicious murders of her employer and his housekeeper and mistress. And it is told from her perspective, fictionalized, of course, but she was a real person. She really existed, alias Grace, and I didn't know it was written by her. There is also a TV show about based on this book, and that's what got my attention. I loved that book. I tore through it. I think I finished it in 48 hours or something. I can't see that here, and I don't want to sign into the story graph. I usually, my personal bookkeeping, I do on the story graph, not necessarily on the Goodreads. It's just that I'm so attached to the Goodreads stuff that I made that for a stream. But personally, I prefer the story graph, actually. You watched the whole show? Toby, why are you in Chicago? What is happening? I'm glad you're okay. So I'm assuming that you want to be there? It's so random. I love that. The intro of this one, this edition was already pretty confronting. Yeah, I don't know what version you read, but in this introduction, she just realizing that she wrote a book about this subject, and she was witness to women gaining the right to say whether they want to, well, the right over their own bodies, to say over their own bodies. She watched that being given to women in real life, in real time, and she has seen it being taken away, and that must be. If you find or know of any interview that has been done with Margaret Atwood after, Roe versus Wade was turned back, please let me know, because I would love to hear her thoughts, because she has a beautiful and fascinating mind. She didn't think that what she wrote here was prophetic. Let me see, how did she put it? In this introduction, she basically deals with a few questions that she gets asked most often. And one of them is this, is The Handmaid's Tale a prediction? That is the third question I'm asked. Increasingly, as forces within America, this was written in 2017, as forces within American society seize power and enact decrees that embody what they were saying they wanted to do, even back in 1984, when I was writing the novel. No, it isn't a prediction, because predicting the future isn't really possible. There are too many variables and unforeseen possibilities. Let's say it's an anti-prediction. If this future can be described in detail, maybe it won't happen. But such wishful thinking cannot be depended upon either, because, as she starts, during my visits to several countries behind the Iron Curtain, Czechoslovakia, East Germany, I experienced the wariness, the feeling of being spied on, the silences, the changes of subject, the oblique ways in which people might convey information, and these had an influence on what I was writing. So did the repurposed buildings this used to belong to, but then they disappeared. I heard such stories many times. Having been born in 1939 and come to consciousness during World War II, I knew that established orders could vanish overnight. Change could also be as fast as lightning. It can't happen here, could not be depended on. Anything could happen anywhere, given the circumstances. And she's basically a symbol in my mind, right? This is all in my mind, what I'm saying. In my mind, she's basically a symbol of all women in the United States at the moment, but especially those of her generation, those of her age right now. To be this aware of what is happening around you and to write a book a little bit as a warning, because as she also states very clearly in the beginning, nothing in this book is made up. She has taken things from all over the world that have happened or are still happening and put them in this book, right? It's haunting. It's haunting, and I really want to listen to an interview or two of her. If she still does them, I can understand if she doesn't want to talk to anyone anymore. Journal Factory, you don't know the meme, Dopey. Then I'm assuming you also don't know about the buttons. I love Tamara for her buttons. I wonder where she is and how she's doing. I really hope that she'll come back next year. Hello, Shelma Lee. How are you doing? Welcome in. I'm trying to move to Chicago. Oh, you're room hunting? Dopey. That's amazing. That's great. Chicago sounds like an amazing place to be, at least. I showered, I did things. Proud of you, Schoolja. I'm proud of you. Showering takes so much energy. It's something that I feel like some people who aren't necessarily chronically ill or something kind of take for granted. Taking a shower, I really need to schedule in, because if I do it on the wrong day, I won't be able to do anything at all anymore. Like it just takes me out. But maybe that will change with the biphasic sleep as well. To be continued. Oh dear. I read The Heart Goes Last by Atwood. Dystopian Midwest US town with no jobs, half the population in jail, half the population upkeep the jail. They switch roles every 6 months. It was really a commentary on hollowed out United States with a large prisoner population. Oh my god. Oh no. I really want to give her a hug. I mean, I something tells me that if there's a person out there who is able to mentally withstand what is happening in the world, it's probably Atwood. But also, everyone needs someone who is smarter and more capable and just a safe haven. Everyone needs that. No matter how independent someone seems, everyone needs some version of that. And my God, do I want to give her a hug. Now I know that I truly thought that she passed away. I don't know why. And I'm kind of sad that she isn't. And I don't mean that in a I wish she was dead way, but more in a oh my God, I wish she didn't see what is happening right now. It's in the same way that my grandparents, like, if they had to deal with AI and the messed up things people are doing with AI and how old people are susceptible to being scammed with it, I'm glad that most of them are not gonna have to deal with that. I know that sounds a bit messed up, but The Heart Goes Last. I need to read more Atwood. I have a few more on my TBR. Is she working on something? I would be a little bit scared if I was her. Oh, it's hilarious absurdist comedy? And it's Atwood? Oh, interesting, Kat. Interesting. Wait. Oh, God. I'll put it on my TBR. I want to read everything by Atwood, basically. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry if you... I'm trying not to breathe very heavily, but I'm just sitting is a kind of a challenge at the moment. I need to go lie down. In terms of prophetic North American witches, I prefer Ursula K. Le Guin, but that's likely my sci-fi bias. Which I read one Le Guin, The Left Hand of Darkness. Do you think that is a good representation of how she thought, or they? Did they prefer they? Or is there something else you would recommend, Dopey? Showers really need seats and like long hose. I think they're common in Japan. Actually, Topi, I was thinking that maybe if I'm gonna move or when I'm gonna move, and I need certain things to make life bearable. Like I need to be able to have an office, right? Because living in a studio is great, except that I do feel like it would be better for my mental health working from home to have a separate space that I can close off for work. I think that would be better for my mental health. And I'm starting to feel like maybe I actually need a bath for after an episode that is so painful that my entire body is in pain. Like I cramp up so badly that I just have cramps in my entire body, and I think maybe I should put a bath on my list of things that would be ideal. Maybe not a must, but ideal. I have to admit that after I have to sit in the shower because I just don't have the energy to take a shower. It's so much input as well. I shower with candlelight, which is something really silly that if you get overwhelmed by something like taking a shower, um, it's so stupid, but it really helps. It's I don't know. It's a relief. I'm autistic, so that's already you need adjustments. You just need adjustments, and because I was late diagnosed, I have a lot of very toxic habits that I feel I should be able to keep up because I thought I was not autistic, and I also have endometriosis. So my body is just very tired. Endometriosis is a broken uterus, basically. Um, and because I'm at the moment under a lot of stress, it's just a little bit worse. And you just need to adjust. It's not great, I have to admit, Kat. It's pretty miserable. Every one famous person over 60 is dead to me until proven alive. In my opinion, I can't keep track of y'all like Toby. I don't know why I thought that would. Why did I think that? I think it was a misleading description underneath something that she said because I vividly remember her saying something about Trump's last term shortly after this introduction. Yeah, I should. I should, Daddy. Space for work is important. I'm trying to go out more, especially to be productive. I enjoy working around others, and I agree that a path would be a good for you. Yeah, I think that would be. It's just that they don't really put baths in new homes anymore. And when a house has been updated, most of them have showers. But yeah, one of the things that I really struggle with is admitting that I need help with just physically, like a cane to walk. Especially now, if I were to go outside without a cane, I just can't. I can't. I need something to stabilize me, because just sitting. It feels like I've been running a marathon and I sound like that. If I were to just breathe as I want to, you would think I just ran a marathon. I didn't. It's just my body being tired. So I'm going to do what Daddy is suggesting. I'm going to lie down. Starting at 2 is a little late. I'm going to aim for 1, all right? Because I'm going to need a little bit more time in the morning. Yes, I'm coming to. So I'm going to aim for 1 p.m. This is what I meant, Danny. I have a schedule, but am I predictable? Not entirely. Not entirely. Chaos? Always. Wood has such a deep understanding of human motivations in society. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of desperate to just listen to her speak about what's going on today. I think that might be a comfort, but I do worry about her as well because it must be agonizing. It must be agonizing to be in her brain. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Please buy an awesome witchy cane or find a stick that would make me so happy. I have canes. I have walking sticks. They look like actual branches, but they're at in my where my bike is stored. So I can't forget it because I have a hard time admitting that I need it to walk. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes. So it's already there, so I can't forget. I want to start at noon, but yes, please keep in mind that I might have to start later tomorrow as well. But I will show up. I will show up. I'll be here, and I hope to see you there as well. But for now, this is it. Thanks so much for being here. I love you. You are important. Don't forget. You are. It doesn't matter how small you perceive your role in the world to be. You are important. So, don't forget to drink water. And try to be kind. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.